All right, today we're going to be constructing perpendiculars and examining angles. For our objectives, we will be able to use a compass and a straight edge to construct a perpendicular bisector and a perpendicular to a line from a point on or off the line. We will also be able to use the words supplementary, linear pair, and vertical angles to describe the angles created by the intersecting lines. So let's start off with some definitions. Supplementary means that the angles add up to 180 degrees. So let's say we have this angle here, and it's 30 degrees, and then we have a bigger angle, and it's 150 degrees. We would say that these angles are supplementary because if we put them together, they make 180 degrees. Complementary is similar, but the angles add up to 90 degrees. So let's say we have our 30-degree angle again, and we have our 60-degree angle. Those angles would be complementary because they add up to 90. The way I like to remember it is C comes before S in the alphabet, and 90 comes before 180 when we're counting. So first in the alphabet is the smaller angle, second in the alphabet is the bigger angle. Some other angles we could have are linear pairs and vertical angles. Linear pair are very similar to supplementary. They are adjacent angles. That form a line. So if we have a straight angle like that, we know that's 180. So if we have our ray here that makes an angle of 150 degrees, and our angle here that's 30 degrees, it still adds up to 180. We just have a little one and a big one. They're both supplementary because it equals 180, and they're a linear pair because they're attached and forming a line. Vertical angles occur when we have a line that is intersected by another line. They are congruent angles, which are across from each other. That are made when two lines intersect. So that would be this angle here and this angle here, or this angle here and this angle here. So if this angle is 150 degrees, we also know that this angle is 150 degrees. Then, because the green angle and the blue angle form a line, we know that this little angle would be 30 degrees because they have to add up to 180. And if this angle is 30 degrees, then this angle is also 30 degrees. Now let's move on to our next construction. This construction is going to remind you a lot of a construction we've already done. So we are going to construct a line that is perpendicular to a point that is on the line. So first, you'll be given a line and a point. Then we're going to draw 2 arcs. From the point on the line to create a segment. So I'm going to make my compass a little bit smaller because our line up there is not that big. So from the center, I'm going to draw an arc on this side. Then I'm going to spin it around and also draw an arc on this side. Now I have a segment. Now the steps are the same, as we did for a perpendicular bisector. Those are on your notes from 1.3a if you need to look back. So if you recall, we put our center of our compass on one of the endpoints. We make sure that our compass is open a little more than halfway. So I'm going to go a little bit past P. Then we want to draw an arc that goes above and below. Then we're going to move our compass to the other side. Center the compass to the other endpoint. Draw an arc above and below. And then use our straight edge make sure it goes through the intersection of both points. And there's our perpendicular bisector going through the point on our line. Next, we're going to draw a perpendicular line that's going through a point not on the line we were given. So we're going to be given a line and a point off the line. Just like in the last construction, we're going to draw 2 arcs. to make a segment, sorry. When we do this, we're going to use the center on the point off the line. So I'm going to take my compass, put the center on that point off the line, and then I'm going to draw my arc from there, and then I'm going to not move it, not make it any wider, just going to spin it around and put my arc on the other side. Then, once again, I'm going to follow the steps for a perpendicular bisector or a segment bisector. So I'm going to put my point on one of the endpoints. Actually, I'll move it down here where we have more space. Draw an arc. Ooh. I still the right distance. Now, we don't have to draw the arcs above this time because we have that dot there to help us. So I'm going to draw an arc below. If you want, you can also draw it above. It should go through your dot, your point, or right above it. Then I'm going to spin my compass around. So I've got my arc below and a arc above from the Y endpoint. Going to spin it around and move it to the X endpoint. Make my arc above. Spin it around. Make my arc below. And then I can use my straight edge to connect the intersections and make my perpendicular line. Don't forget to fill in your summary